Did you know that when a lithium-ion drill battery packs in, quite often you can fix it yourself? I'm going to show you a simple 4-step process that we can go through together, and you can learn exactly how to diagnose and solve most problems that occur with lithium-ion drill batteries. The first thing you need to do is grab your trusty multimeter. Everybody should have a multimeter. They're cheap as chips and they can get you out of a bind in so many different ways. What I'm doing is testing the voltage on a good battery, and this second battery is showing there's actually over voltage. This scale on the multimeter only goes to 20 volts. We're going to about 19.9. That's why it's flashing on and off, because it's going over the 20. This is the dead drill battery. You can see that it's testing at 16.8. Now that means that the charger doesn't recognize it as being an 18 volt battery, so it won't charge it. So what I'm going to do now is clear the decks, and we're going to see if we can jump start it. This is the good battery. This is the one that's holding just on 20 volts. We can jump start the bad battery and build up the voltage. We do that with a pair of lightweight jumper leads. It's not like a car where you're putting huge amperage through. All we're going to do is transfer some of the power from one battery to the other. Now, depending on the terminals that your battery has, you can probably clip directly onto them with small crocodile clips. In my case, I can't, so I'm going to use an insulated plastic clamp. On batteries that have a magnetic terminal, like this older one that I've got over here, hang on, I'll just grab it. Right, on this battery we've got metallic terminals. That means I can use a small magnet to go onto the two terminals, and then I can just hold the crocodile clips on with the magnet, and that will get the charge jumping from one to the other. But I can't do that, so what I'm going to do here is just hold the terminals and give it a 10 or 15 second jump blast from the other battery. I'll tell you what, if I connect it the other way with the multimeter probes, we can keep an eye on the voltage as I do the jump start, and you'll see the voltage dropping as power transfers from one battery to the other. You can't completely transfer power from one battery to another. It will equalize. It will drop, and when it stops dropping, that's as much as it's going to take. But we don't need to go that far. All I'm going to try and do is get it up to a threshold voltage where it will accept a charge on the charger again. It's not working though, so let's try it on another battery, and you can see how the voltage drops. That means that this battery is taking the charge. The battery I'm trying to fix ain't taking a charge, so that means I'm going to have to open it up and find out why. Some batteries are held together with ordinary screws. Some batteries use these security Torx bits. So if you haven't got a set of security Torx bits or a little handle to drive them, you're going to have to go and buy some, sorry. But you'll find batteries that are glued together, batteries that are held together with a clipping mechanism, and you'll find some batteries with these Torx screws. Whatever battery you've got, while you're doing it, check the date. Look how old mine is, 2015 and still going. 6 years old, and by God I give my batteries a hard time. So I'm going to use a screwdriver to just tease down the terminals which are in this top tower. Don't stick the screwdriver right through, because you'll connect negative with positive, and if there is power in the battery, you'll create an induction heater. So the first thing we're faced with is this circuit board, which is called the BMS. The BMS is the Battery Management System, and that is the built-in obsolescence board, is what I call it. It has several overriding safety features. Here's your 5 batteries. They can be linked together in numerous different configurations in order to get the battery voltage and amperage that your drill requires. So Be very careful when you're handling this because you've got exposed terminals. Don't use anything metallic close to it, and move all those away so there's no risk of getting anything lost or causing a short. For test 2, I'm going to apply power from the good battery to the positive and negative terminals of the battery pack without going through the circuit board. If it will take a charge, I know that there's a problem with the circuit board. So once again, I'm going to connect the probes and I'll see if there's a voltage drop when I jump onto the battery pack directly without going through the BMS. So here we go. Good strong battery connecting to here, and it's not dropping. That means that the fault isn't in the BMS. The fault is actually in the battery pack itself. So step 3 will be to test each cell individually. Now these cells have a nominal voltage of 3.7 volts, but a fully charged a fully charged cell will be around 4.1. The black patch on the second cell, that's covering the temperature sender. The temperature sender is another one of the safety devices that prevents overheating. If the battery pack gets too hot, it simply shuts the whole thing down. So what I'm going to have to do is just be very careful to make sure that I get the polarity correct, and I'm going to test the voltage of each cell. So here we go. 4.08. 4.08. 4.08. We're looking great so far. Just check the polarity again. I might have to pull that thing off so that I can get to the end of the battery. Oh, now what have we got here? That's not 4.08, half a volt. We've got an issue here. Let's have a look at the top one. 4.09. We got a dead cell. So what we're going to do now is we're going to boost up the voltage of that one cell by jumping off the jumper battery, and it'll only take a second or so, and that'll just bring it up to its threshold and hopefully even out the whole pack. So I'm going to just carefully check my polarities and give it a little boost. Make sure I've got the right one. There we oh! Ah, what has happened? It is another electro boom moment. You must watch this guy. He is the funniest electrician on YouTube. Oh, brain fade. What I was trying to do was jump that one cell, but brain fade, I did it with 20 volts. So I've whipped over here to my power supply and I've connected the one cell to a 4.1 volt power supply, and I'm charging at 2.2 amps. It's now down to 0.16 amps. So there it is. The cell is now at 4.1 volts. So I'm going to whip that back and I'm just going to do a test fit into the charger, and if it goes green, we've got a fully charged battery pack. So now I can quickly whip the whole thing back together again, get the screws in, and try it out on one of my machines. All you've got to do is cheat the BMS. And you do that by diagnosing the fault and rectifying it by applying the correct voltage. The whole reason this happened was because I repeatedly ran the battery to... You know how when your drill stops and you leave it, you can get another 5 seconds out of it about a few seconds later? Well, I did that again and again and again, and it pulled it down below the threshold. Right, let's see. Clip it in. Fixed. Sweet. And that, my friends, has just saved me $60 for a new battery. If you like saving things, rebuilding things, refurbishing things, why not subscribe to the channel?